My mother-in-law ruined my first Mother's Day, so I didn't plan anything for Father's Day. Now, my husband was hurt, his mother was furious, and I honestly wasn't sure if my marriage was going to survive it. But that wasn't even the real issue. The real issue was something that had been building for years. So tell me, am I the asshole? Our little boy turns 1 later this summer, so this was our first Mother's Day and first Father's Day. When my husband asked what I wanted for Mother's Day, I kept it simple. I didn't ask for jewelry. I didn't ask for a spa day. I asked for him to get up with our son and feed him while I pumped and relaxed. I asked for breakfast in bed, toast, scrambled eggs, and coffee. I wanted to take our little guy to the zoo for the first time, and I wanted dinner at my favorite taco place. That was it. I even planned everything carefully around naps. We'd have about 4 hours of awake time between naps. The zoo was 30 minutes away. If we left right after his nap and feeding, we'd have a couple of hours there. Worst case, he'd nap in the car. I also handled the extended family ahead of time. The weekend before, we took both our moms out to brunch. Saturday for his mom, Sunday for mine. I got them thoughtful gifts and flowers for their first Mother's Day as grandparents. I arranged everything. I even sent a group text, including my husband, my dad, and my father-in-law, explaining we'd be celebrating the actual day as just our little family. My mother-in-law is pushy and overbearing. I didn't want confusion. Then, the Saturday before Mother's Day, my father-in-law texted my husband a picture of 300 bags of mulch he had delivered. 300! That night, my mother-in-law called my husband and asked him to come over first thing in the morning to help move it. She said since we weren't going to the zoo until after nap time, he could help for a couple of hours and then come home. I immediately knew what was happening. I told my husband his mother was trying to derail our plans. He said it wasn't a big deal. She promised it would only take an hour or two. You can probably guess what happened. He left first thing in the morning, so no breakfast in bed. I got up, fed our son. When our little guy went down for his nap, I texted him to wrap things up. 2 hours later, our son woke up. I called him. He said it was taking longer than expected. Another hour and a half passed. By the time he said he was heading home, we'd already missed the zoo window. So I told him to just stay there and finish. Don't worry about Mother's Day. He hadn't done a single thing I asked for. Later, his mother-in-law called and suggested I bring our son over to hang out while the boys finished. I told her I had no interest in spending time with the people who ruined my first Mother's Day. Yes, I was upset. I stayed home, ordered pizza, and binged Netflix. When my husband got home, he apologized and asked how he could make it up. I told him he could make it up by not ruining my first Mother's Day. And I told him he should plan on spending Father's Day with his parents because I'd be spending it with mine. And I did. We went to my parents'. It was actually a nice day. My dad grilled. The weather was beautiful. We hung out on the deck with our son. My mother-in-law sent me a snippy text saying it was hurtful. I told her she got to spend Mother's Day with her baby boy. It was only fair I spent Father's Day with my family. I told my husband I was matching his energy. But here's the thing. Mother's Day wasn't the real problem. It was just the straw that broke the camel's back. A week later, my husband and I finally sat down and had a real conversation. He admitted he shouldn't have gone to his parents, but he said his mother pressured him and told him if his dad got hurt, it would be his fault. He admitted he was terrified I was going to ask for a divorce. So I told him the truth. If this is how our life is going to be, I don't want to stay married. This behavior from his mother has been happening for years. On our honeymoon, she called him 2 times a day, every morning to hear the plan, every evening for a recap. She tried to make our wedding about herself, tried to make my pregnancy about herself, tried to take over when we brought our son home. She constantly inserts herself. I told my husband I don't necessarily want a divorce right now, but if nothing changes, I will. And I'd rather divorce amicably now than wait until I'm so resentful it becomes ugly. We both cried. I told him I'd give him time to decide what he's going to do, but if I don't see clear effort prioritizing me and our son, I'll move forward with divorce. Then I laid out boundaries. We each handle our own parents. No more planning things for his parents. No visits without him present. No last-minute plan changes. No oversharing with his mother. Holidays involving our son happen at our house. His visits to his parents cannot come at the expense of quality time with us. He needs therapy specializing in enmeshment. We need couples therapy. And when we say no, we back each other up. He was scared. He said he felt caught between a rock and a hard place. But I told him I'm not tolerating this anymore. Since then, we've both started individual therapy. We're in couples therapy weekly. He surprised me with a trip to San Antonio as a belated Mother's Day. It wasn't perfect, traveling with a baby never is, but he planned it. He didn't answer when his mother called while we were gone, and when we got back, I heard her scolding him for not inviting her. For our son's first birthday, I planned a small party at our house. His mother wanted to host it and invite all her friends. I said no. She went crying to my husband. He initially tried to convince me to accommodate her. In therapy, the counselor asked him what he wanted. He froze, like no one had ever asked him that before. It became clear he spent his life deferring to other people, first his mother, now sometimes me. In the end, we ended up doing the party my way because he truly didn't have an opinion. His mother brought a giant sheet cake anyway after I told her not to. We didn't serve it. Boundaries. Now I've stepped back. I'm not walking on eggshells. I'm less angry. Now I'm more sad. I love my husband. I understand him better, but I don't know if he can change, and I don't know how this ends. So tell me, was I wrong for matching his energy on Father's Day, or was that the wake-up call our marriage needed? Let me know what you think. And if you want more real-life relationship stories and family drama, subscribe to Story Vault.